Hello, this is Joyce Banbury with Thrift and Pick Country Style, and we're going to do something a little different today. My SD card for my camera disappeared, and I didn't have another one large enough to support videos, so I'm waiting for a new one to come in. We're going to show you how to list an item to help you optimize it for search and to give you the best possible customer return on their questions and things like that. First thing we're going to do is put it in the correct category, or one as close as we can to the category that it should be in. This is really important. So we're going to type in vintage, and we're going to type in Florabelle. Help if I take my caps off, wouldn't it? Santa house, plastic, and see what this brings up. Okay, so we have 1946, 1990. That's the period that we want to put it in. So let's look at the different options here. Ornaments, it is not an ornament. Figure, it could be a figure. Other modern Christmas, probably that would be the best one. So let's try that one, because it's not really an ornament and it's not really a Santa figure. It's a little Santa house, completely made out of plastic. So we're going to go on down now to continue. Only put it in one category because it's really not worth putting it in any more. So then we need to redo this a little bit. We're going to put vintage, Florabell, plastic, Santa house with Santa and reindeer. We got Santa twice. We don't need that. As a label, it is all has plastic trees, sled and reindeer. And we're going to leave that. Well, it'd help if I get my I don't know what we want to put here. Let's put Santa house. Now this is subject to change. The keywords or the title are subject to change if I go through and find out that perhaps something else would work best when I go to search. So I'm not going to search just yet. So we're going to put floral decoration because that's what it was. We're going to put 1950s because that helps to identify it. And we're going to put, I think that's all for now. Condition. Okay, it's used. Now there's two ways I will do this. I will use used, and then down here if it's practically new or new, but pre-owned, I'll put pre-owned. But in this case it is used. The plastic floral decoration from the mid too late 1950s is in used condition. It is a Santa and sled and reindeer. Atop a plastic snow covered house. I can't even type snow. In red, green, and white. It is in good condition with paint flaking on the Santa figure. Okay, now we're going to add our photos. Sometimes this works really well, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, we're already there. And my photos are all ready to go, so I'm going to just click on them and load them in. You need to always have at least 3 photos. Now sometimes that's kind of hard because I also sell fabrics, and I find it kind of difficult to get 3 really interesting photos. But the thing you want is for your photos to tell the story of your picture or of your item. You want to make sure that they show any flaws, but you also want them to show the front, the side, the back, and anything of interest that would be on it, the tag. You don't have to have tons of detailed photos unless it needs them to complete the customer's questions that they might be asking as they look at it. So just keep in mind that your photos should tell the story of your item and should answer any buyer or customer's questions that they might have about it. Good photos are the key, one of the keys to good search engine results and good customer relationships. So now I need to put these in order, so I'm going to move this over to here. And that tells me, or that, whoops, sorry about that. That gives us the front of the house, the back of the house, and then over here we were showing that the Santa is indeed got paint flecks on it. Personally, I think that adds to the age and the patina of it, since it's almost 60 years old. And then there's the little tag that remains still intact. Okay, this says it's made in Hong Kong. Now, one of the flaws of this is that lots of times when something's made in a certain area, that it doesn't give it anymore. So, you know, what can I say? Okay, so enter the first thing I do if I don't have an option here is put in item name. And then I put Santa plastic house with trees and reindeer. This helps the buyer to understand. Now, we've come down to item specifics. It is extremely important that you fill in as much as you can in the item specifics, because that's the way the search engine searches, from your title on down to your item specifics. And you want those item specifics to reuse or to use names and titles that are searchable. So you don't need to put anything else in, but you really do need to do that. Okay, it is the colors are red, white, and green. Okay, the size is and this is really important. I run into so many things. I collect certain things, and I run into so many things that the size makes a difference, in the sense that you'll have a small, medium, and large, such as Hummel figures. If they don't put the physical size in there, you can't always tell by their descriptions exactly what size you're buying. So if I can get the physical size, well, I'm probably not going to buy it. Okay, this is 9.5 inches. Tall to top of Santa by 5 inches wide on the base. Okay, now my customer has some pretty good information to and the material is plastic. Has a pretty good idea of what they will be purchasing, and they don't have to rely on just the pictures. Now your details, it's really up to you what you put in there. However, reiterating the information that you've already given them will help them to understand exactly what they are buying. So once again, we're going to put in, and the name of the company, I don't know if we got that in there. I don't think we did. Okay, so we're going to put name of company in here. You never know when somebody might know exactly what they're looking for, and with that, without that name in there, it isn't going to help them find it. So you want to include that in your item specifics. In a sense, it's more important to put it in your item specifics than it is to put it in your details and your description. So we're going to put in Flora Bell, plastic, Santa house with reindeer and trees and Santa going down, and I don't know what else. Sled. Well, sled and reindeer. How about let's go back and change that. Now, there's times when I might put that in. I put everything in 12-point Arial. I don't bold it very often, but I might occasionally. I do not center it. I always left justify it because people read from left to right, and they tend to get confused and bothered if something is centered. So no matter how you do it, you want to justify it to the left side. Okay, now I like to number my point. I don't do bullet points because there's a lot of controversy about whether Google likes them or this or that or the other, so I just number them. So I'm going to put in size of house, and I'm going to reiterate the size we had up here, which was 9.5 by 5. And I'm going to, sorry, Santa, I don't mean to belittle you a little bit here. And then I'm going to, okay, 2 colors are red and white. With green trims. Not the best typist in the world. There's a reason for it, but I'm not going to go into it. And then we have house sits on a green plastic, oh come on, base. For tag is on the tree, bush. I know something we forgot up here now. So we're going to put era in here. Vintage. I put a big space between the now, by doing this much on the item specifics, what you do is you allow them to scroll down immediately and understand 90% of what your item is about without reading the description. So you want to make sure that the information you put in there is pretty thorough for the item. Okay? Now, I'm done with this for now. I think that's enough information for any buyer who might want it. And then I go in here, and the rest of this is my information that I put for, thank you and so forth. So I will put, I'm going to cut and paste from another item here, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel, which I don't believe in doing. And this part of the listing is the same on everything that I list. I usually don't create a new listing for anything. I almost always do a similar and just modify it to do what I want it to do. So I don't really go in every time and create a new listing. And a lot of this information stays in my listing, which is all right. I'm going to cut all of this and copy it, and then I'm going back here and I'm going to paste it. Okay, oops, we need to bring this up a little. Okay, and this is essentially all that goes on my listings. I don't put anything else on there for two reasons. One, I don't like to clutter it up. I don't like to read clutter or anything like that. And two, I really don't like those ones that have warnings and things like that, and I tend not to buy from them. So okay, now we're going to go down here and I'm going to fix price for this item, and I'm going to put in $29.95. This is not something you're going to find around it. I do not like lowball. So I will go in here and I will change this, and I will say I won't take anything less than $20. I have one item. I'm putting good till canceled. I go by PayPal. I put immediate payment when buyer uses it now. It saves me a lot of grief. I almost always do free shipping unless it's an auction or unless it's a breakable, and then I will put in shipping. I try to keep my shipping really low. The rest of it, I use the global shipping program. I don't send out any international items any other way. I prefer to let eBay take care of it for me. I have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and that's a no-hassle money guarantee. It costs me 20 cents. Okay. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to edit my listing, because I want to look at it now, because as you could tell, I wasn't typing in very well. So I have vintage Florabelle. I think I'll go back and capitalize that. Oops. L. Florabelle plastic Santa. Maybe Santa should be capitalized too. House floral decoration. 1950s, okay. Used plastic floral decoration from the mid to late 1950s is in used condition. It is a Santa and sled. I think I'll change that to Santa. Well, that's all right. sled and reindeer atop a plastic snow-covered house. It is in good condition with paint flaking on the Santa figure. That's okay. We got pictures. That's good. Hong Kong, trees and reindeer, red, white, and green. Yes, plastic, Florabelle, blah, blah, blah. Plastic Santa house with sled and reindeer and trees. 9.5. Need that to go in. Maybe that one too. Okay. And this is all I put on my listings. I don't put anything else. Price. Okay. Now we're going to put this live. And it cost me 20 cents. And then we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what I actually did. Okay? Alright, now we're going to look at the listing the way a buyer would see it. So we're going to click through on this. And the first thing we see is Vintage Florabelle Plastic Santa House Floral Decoration 1950s. Okay, now this is the first thing your buyer is seeing, and the reason we are putting the things the way we did is because this is the way they're going to read it. Okay, they've got a picture here of the house, a little blurred, I might have to change that, and they've got a picture of the back of the house, and I've optimized it. It's 1920 pixels or more to optimize it for searching. There's the front of the house. There's Santa's reindeer. There's Santa showing his the paint chipping and flaking. Really cute. He's a very old-looking Santa, a very traditional-looking Santa. So might have to change some of these pictures out, but for now we'll just not worry about it. There's a picture of the tag, Florabelle Flowers Incorporated, made in Hong Kong. Now my customer knows about everything, just without going any further. They know an awfully lot about my listing. And then down here, delivery, because I do hassle-free returns, shipping, expedited shipping from Kansas, PayPal, and I only take PayPal. And then we come down here to where the item specifics were. And before they read my description or anything else, they can look at this. They know where it was made, what it is. I need to change that. We need the size of it, material, the company, and the era. So even if they don't read this, they already have good information. And most of this was just reiterating what I had already said. I want them to feel like when they shop with me, they don't have a problem. So I don't have a lot of extraneous material on there. So that's the way the ball bounces, and that's how you would create a listing, customizing it to your needs for a better buyer experience. Okay?